So here students, today again we are going to solve some questions related to how to balance the chemical equations. Okay, so I have some questions for you today which you can see on the board here. Okay, so the first one is when potassium nitrate is heated. When potassium nitrate is heated, it decomposes into potassium nitrite and oxygen. So this is the reaction which we have to balance. When potassium nitrate is heated, it decomposes into potassium nitrite and what? And oxygen. So potassium nitrate chemical formula you have to know first. That is KNO3. This is known as potassium nitrate and its state is solid state. Okay, and when we heat it, I told you the symbol of heat is denoted by delta over the arrow. Okay, so when we are heating this potassium nitrate, it decomposes into potassium nitrite, that is KNO2 plus oxygen, that is O2. Now how to balance it? Okay, if you see, first we'll balance at potassium. Potassium is the metal, so first we'll balance metal potassium. So one potassium, okay. Then you'll balance non-metal, that is nitrogen. So nitrogen one here also, no problem. Now we try to balance the oxygen. If you see oxygen here only 3, but here 2 plus 2, 4 oxygen atoms are here. So how to balance? 2 plus 2, 4, but only here 3. Now if I write here 2, the oxygen would become now 3 to the 6 oxygen. Now again if I write here 2, now check the oxygen, 2 to the 4 plus 2, 6 oxygen. Look here, 3 to the 6 oxygen, 2 to the 4, 4 plus 2, 6 oxygen. Okay, oxygen also balance. Now again look back, first potassium, 2 potassium atoms, balanced. Nitrogen, 2 nitrogen atoms, balanced. Oxygen, 3 to the 6 oxygen atoms, 2 to the 4 plus 2, 6 oxygen. So this is how we'll balance this. Now the next one, barium chloride solution. Barium chloride solution is BaCl2. Solution means its state is aqueous state, that is written as AQ. Okay, barium chloride solution reacts with aluminium sulfate solution. Aluminium sulfate is Al2SO4 whole thrice. That you must be writing Al2SO4 whole thrice. This is aluminum sulfate. You must be writing all the chemical formula somewhere now. I have told you earlier also. Keep writing these name and the chemical formulae. Make write the name and their chemical formulae. So different many things I just telling you in the previous lectures also. BaCl2, that is barium chloride, react with the aluminum sulfate solution, that is AlCl2. Solution means its state is aqueous state. Okay, to form a precipitate of barium sulfate. Precipitate of barium sulfate, that is BaSO4, that is barium sulfate. Precipitate of barium sulfate. Precipitate means it's a solid, it is not dissolved, it is not dissolving. Okay, solid state. Precipitate of barium sulfate and aluminium chloride solution. Aluminium chloride, that is AlCl3. Solution means its state is again aqueous state. Aqueous state, I think not visible there. So let me write it here. Okay, now let's balance this. So first we'll balance the barium metal. First one metal is what here? Barium. Then we'll try to balance aluminium. Then we'll balance the non-metal, that is chlorine. Then the next one is sulfur. Then the next one is oxygen. So these things we are to balance here. So first one is the barium. If you see barium, only one atom here also, and there also in the product side also one atom. Now check aluminium. Aluminium, here are 2 atoms of aluminium, and here only 1 atom of aluminium. So what to do? Write here a coefficient 2. So now you can see aluminiums are also 2 and 2 there also. So it's balanced now. Now let's check chlorine. Chlorine, if you see here 2 atoms of chlorine and here 3 to just 6 atoms of chlorine. So what to do? Write here also 3. So 3 to just 6 atoms of chlorine here also, and 3 to just 6 atoms of chlorine there also. Now if you have balanced the chlorine, now barium, look at barium, 3 atoms of barium here now, but here only 1. So write here also 3 atoms of barium. It's clear? Now we have balanced barium, we have balanced chlorine, and we have balanced aluminum. Now we will balance sulfur. Let's check sulfur. How many atoms of sulfur here? S outside here 3. So 3 atoms of sulfur. Here also you can see 3 atoms of sulfur. Now oxygen. If you can see oxygen, how many atoms here? 4 3 are 12 atoms of oxygen. And here also 4 3 are 12 atoms of oxygen. So all have been balanced now. Barium 3, chlorine 2, chlorine 2 3 just 6, chlorine 2 3 just 6, aluminium 2, sulfur 3, oxygen 4 3 are 12, and here also oxygen 4 3 are 12. It's balanced now. Okay, so let me raise this. Now the next one is write a balanced chemical equation for the photosynthesis reaction. It's very important. Okay, so you have to write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction of photosynthesis. You must be knowing during photosynthesis, in the presence of sunlight, carbon dioxide and water are reacting in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Here you can write here sunlight denoted by H nu and chlorophyll. Okay, so in the presence of these two, carbon dioxide and water are reacting together to form glucose, that is carbohydrate C6H12O6, and again it gives oxygen also in the reaction of photosynthesis. Now you have to balance this. So what to balance? First you will balance carbon atoms, then you will balance hydrogen atoms, then you will balance oxygen atoms. So if you see carbon atoms, so here's only 1 carbon, there 6 carbon atoms are there, so right here 6. Now we will balance the hydrogen atoms. If you see hydrogen atoms are here 2, here 12 hydrogen atoms, so need is to write here a coefficient of 6. So here you can also see 6 to the 12 hydrogen atoms here also, and 12 hydrogen atoms there also. Now let's check the oxygen atoms. If you could see oxygen atoms in the reactant side, 6 to the 12 plus 6, 12 here also and 6 here also. So 12 plus 6, 18 oxygen atoms are there in the reactant side, 18. Okay, now let's check the product one. 6 and 2, 8 atoms only. 6 here and 2 here, 8 atoms only. So we need 18. So what to do? We would multiply here by 6. If you multiply here by 6, though now check 6 to the 12 oxygen and 6 here. So 18 oxygen here also, here also. Oxygen also have been balanced now. Let's check again. Carbon 6, hydrogen 12, oxygen 6 to the 12 plus 6, 18, and 6 to the 12 plus 6, 18. So all have been balanced. So this was the photosynthesis reaction. Okay, now we will write the fourth question. Fourth question is, ammonia reacts with oxygen to form nitrogen and water. Ammonia reacts with oxygen, that would be the third question. Ammonia reacts with oxygen to form nitrogen. Ammonia reacts with oxygen to form nitrogen, and what? Ammonia reacts with oxygen to form nitrogen and water. Just write the chemical name now. Ammonia, that is NH3, and it is reacting with, the state of ammonia is what? Can you tell me? Gas. Its state is gaseous state. If you are writing the state of the compounds here also, so it's again will be more informative reaction than equation. Okay, to make an equation more informative, I have told you in the previous videos, to make an equation more informative, you write their chemical state also. Okay, yes. So here you can see ammonia, that is in the state of gas, is reacting with what? It is reacting with oxygen, that is also in the state of gas. Okay, and it forms what? It forms nitrogen, that is N2. Again it's a gas, and water. Water is gas? No, it's a liquid. Now try to balance it. Now at first you will balance nitrogen, then hydrogen, then oxygen. If you see, nitrogen only one atom, here two atoms of nitrogen are there, so write here 2, no problem. Now check hydrogen. Now 3 to the 6 atoms of hydrogen here, only here 2 atoms. So if I multiply here by the coefficient 3, so now hydrogen also you can see 3 to the 6 hydrogen atom here also, and 3 to the 6 hydrogen atom here also. Now let's check the oxygen. If you could see the oxygen atoms, here 2 oxygen atoms and here 3 oxygen atoms. So what to do? 2 oxygen atoms here, 3 oxygen atoms. So what to do? So now see, if I multiply here by 3 to the 6 oxygen atom, and then I will multiply here also by 6, that is why 3 to the 6 oxygen atom here also, 3 and 6 oxygen atom here also, you can see. Okay, oxygen have been balanced, but as I have balanced oxygen atoms here, so now hydrogen has been changed. Look, 6 to the 12 hydrogen atom here, all here 6 to the 12 hydrogen atom, but here only 3 to the 6. So need is what? Need is to multiply here by 4. If I multiply here by 4, then you can see now hydrogen atoms are 4 3 are 12 here also and 12 here also. But now nitrogen has been unbalanced. 4 nitrogen atom, here only 2. So need is to multiply here by 2. Now I think all have been balanced. Let's check again. Nitrogen 4 2 to the 4. Hydrogen 4 3 are 12. 6 to the 12. Now let's check oxygen 3 to the 6 and it's 6. It's a balanced chemical equation. Now we'll move ahead and it will be the fourth one now. Okay, just write the next one. That is the fourth one. 1 2 3, fourth one. Fourth or third? I think fifth one it's here. Fifth one, yes. Fourth one we have done already. This was the fourth one, I think. Okay, it would be the fifth one. Okay, so it is 1 2 3 4, fifth one. Yeah, sodium hydroxide solution right there. Sodium hydroxide solution reacts with hydrochloric acid solution. Reacts with hydrochloric acid solution. Reacts with hydrochloric acid solution to produce sodium chloride and water. To produce sodium chloride solution and water. Now if you could see, sodium hydroxide solution. Sodium hydroxide is NaOH solution, means its state is aqueous state. Reacts with hydrochloric acid solution. Reacts with hydrochloric acid, that is HCl solution, means aqueous state. To produce, what does it produce? It produces sodium chloride solution again. Sodium chloride, NaCl solution, means aqueous state, and water, that is H2O, state is liquid. Now let's balance this. First we'll balance sodium, then chlorine, then hydrogen, then oxygen. So sodium, if you see, one atom. Now let's check chlorine, one atom there also. Now let's check hydrogen, 1 2 1 2. Now let's check oxygen, 1 and 1. It's balanced already. Okay, now we will move to the sixth. Right there, calcium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid. Calcium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid to produce calcium chloride, water and carbon dioxide. To produce calcium chloride, water and what? And carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide. Okay? Carbon dioxide. This is the direction. So here calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3, reacts with hydrochloric acid, that is what? That is HCl. What does it produce? It produces calcium chloride, that is CaCl2, water and carbon dioxide. So what to balance? So first we will balance calcium, then we'll balance carbon, then chlorine, then hydrogen, then oxygen. So these things we have to balance. So let's check calcium first. If you could see calcium here, one atom there also. Now carbon, one atom there also carbon. Now let's check chlorine, one atom, but here two atoms. So need is to multiply here by the coefficient 2. So now chlorine are also 2, here also 2. Now let's check hydrogen, two atoms of hydrogen, oxygen, three atoms of oxygen, 2 plus 1, 3 oxygen of atoms, all have been balanced. If you check it again, calcium 1, 1, carbon 1, 1, chlorine 2, hydrogen 2 atoms, oxygen 3 atoms, 2 plus 1, 3 atoms. Okay, so this is how we will balance the chemical equation. Now let's move to the 7th question. Okay, so write down the 7th one now. Let me write the 7th question now. 7th question. Visible? Okay. 7th question is magnesium burns in carbon dioxide to form magnesium oxide and carbon. Magnesium burns in carbon dioxide to form magnesium oxide and carbon. To form magnesium oxide and carbon. So here we have magnesium that burns in carbon dioxide. Magnesium is what? Mg, and it burns in carbon dioxide, that is CO2, to form magnesium oxide, that is MgO, and carbon. So balance it just. First you balance magnesium, one atom, then carbon, one atom there, then oxygen, two atoms, but here only one atom, so write here also 2. Now if I writing 2 atoms of oxygen, but here 2 atoms of magnesium also, here also write 2 then. Now it's balanced. Okay, so this is how we will balance. Now let's move to the next. That will be the 8th one. That will be the 8th one. Okay, now let me write it here. 8th one, and it says it's a potassium chlorate on heating forms potassium chloride and oxygen. Potassium chlorate on heating forms potassium chloride and oxygen. On heating forms potassium chloride and oxygen. Okay, so potassium chlorate is what? Formula is KClO3. KClO3, that is called potassium chlorate. On heating means delta, you will have to write here. Okay, on heating, what does it form? It produces potassium chloride, that is KCl, plus what? plus oxygen, that is O2. Okay, now just balance is, first we balance potassium 1 1. Now balance chlorine atoms, 1 atom 1 atom, then oxygen 3 atoms and there 2 atoms. So it means 3 and 2 LCM is 6. It means you will multiply here by 3 to the 6 and here by 2 to 3 the 6 atoms of oxygen, 6 atoms. But K and Cl has been unbalanced. K now 2, so K here 1, so multiply here also by 2. So now you can see potassium atoms 2, potassium atoms 2, chlorine atoms also 2, chlorine atoms also 2, oxygen 3 to the 6 atom, oxygen also here 3 to the 6 atoms are there. Okay, now let's move to the ninth part of the question. Question number 9th one is, sodium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid. Sodium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid. Sodium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid to produce sodium sulfate and water. To produce sodium sulfate and water. To produce sodium sulfate and water. So here we have sodium hydroxide. So can you tell me the chemical formula of sodium hydroxide? Yes, NaOH. Very good. So it is reacting at, can you tell me the state of sodium hydroxide? State of sodium hydroxide is what? Aqueous state, yes. It reacts with sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid formula, yes, H2SO4, and state is again aqueous state. What does it give? It gives sodium sulfate, that is Na2SO4. Na2SO4. Can you tell me the state of sodium sulfate? Yes, again it's aqueous state, plus next is what? Water, and state of water is what? Liquid state. Okay, so now try to balance this. First we will balance sodium, then we will balance what? Then we will balance sulfur, then hydrogen, then oxygen. Okay, so sodium, if you see 1 atom and 2 atoms there, so multiply here by 2. Okay, now let's check sulfur. If you could see sulfur, here 1 atom, here also 1 atom, no problem. Hydrogen 2, look here, 2 atoms here and 2 atoms there, so 2 plus 2, 4 atoms in the reactant side, and in the product side only 2, so needed to multiply by the coefficient 2. So hydrogen also 4, here also 4. Okay, now let's check oxygen. Oxygen, if you could see 2 atoms of oxygen here, 4 here, so 4 plus 2, 6 in the reactant side. Okay, 2 atoms of oxygen and 4 atoms here, so 4 plus 2, 6 oxygen atoms are there in the reactant side, and if you could see in the product side, 4 plus 2, 6 oxygen atoms are there in the product side also. I think all have been balanced now. If you see, if you can check again, yes, sodium 2, sulfur 1, very good. Hydrogen 2 plus 2, 4, 2 to the 4, oxygen 2 plus 4, 6, 4 plus 2, 6 oxygen atoms are there. So this was your 9th question. Okay, now let's move to the 10th part of the question, and question number 10th is, magnesium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid to produce magnesium chloride, carbon dioxide and water. Magnesium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid, reacts with hydrochloric acid to produce magnesium chloride, carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so just balance it. Magnesium carbonate, that is MgCO3, reacts with hydrochloric acid, that is HCl, and what does it produce? It produces magnesium chloride, that is MgCl2, and what? And carbon dioxide, CO2, and we have water. Okay, now if you write the state of these different chemical compounds here, so its state is solid state and its state is aqueous state, and magnesium chloride is again aqueous state, AQ. Okay, carbon dioxide gaseous state, and water, it's a liquid state. So just balance it now. How to balance it? First we balance magnesium, then we balance carbon, then chlorine, then hydrogen, then oxygen. Okay, in this sequence. So first magnesium, if you could see magnesium, one atom there. Carbon, one atom here also, yeah, one atom there also. Now chlorine, only one atom, but here two atoms are there, so needed to multiply here by two atoms. Chlorine also balanced. Now balance hydrogen, two atoms there also. Oxygen, three atoms, and 2 plus 1, 3 atoms. It's balanced one now. Okay, so this is how we balance this equation. Now we will move to the next equation. Let me write here up. That would be the question number 11th. Okay, so it's aluminium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid. Right there, aluminium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid. Aluminium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric to produce aluminium sulfate and water. To produce aluminium sulfate and water. Now if you write the chemical formulae of these all the compounds here, aluminium hydroxide is what? Can you tell me the chemical formula of this? Yes, AlOH whole thrice. Very good. AlOH whole thrice plus what? Plus what? Sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is what? H2SO4, and it produces what? It produces aluminium sulfate, that is Al2SO4 whole thrice. Why Al2 here? Because valency of SO4 ion is 2 and valency of aluminium is 3. So its valency you write here, its valency you write here. Okay, it's an ionic compound SO4. Okay, now next one is and water. It produces water also. Now let's balance this. So first we'll balance aluminium, then sulfur, then hydrogen, then oxygen. Okay, so let's balance in this sequence. So first aluminium, one atom, here two atoms, so multiply here by 2. It's clear to you now? Good. So multiply here by 2. Now you will balance the sulfur atom, one atom of sulfur, but here 3 atoms of sulfur are there, so multiply here also by 3 atoms of sulfur. Now let's balance these hydrogen atoms. If you could see, 3 to the 6 hydrogen atom here, and look here, 3 and 2 outside, 3 to the 6. So 6 plus 6, 12 hydrogen atoms are here, and here only 2 atoms. So need is to multiply here by coefficient 6. Now you can see 6 to the 12 hydrogen there also and here also. Now at the last we will balance the oxygen atoms. If you could see oxygen atom, 4, 3, 4, outside here 3, 4 3 ja 12 plus here 3 and outside 2, 3 2 ja 6, means 18 atoms of oxygen, and here 4 3 ja 12 oxygen and 6 here, so 18 atoms here also. Oxygen already balanced now. Okay, now let's check again. Aluminium 2, sulfur 3 atoms of sulfur, hydrogen 3 2 ja 6, 3 2 ja 6 plus 6 12, and here 6 2 ja 12. Oxygen 3 2 ja 6, 4 3 ja 12, 6 plus 12 18, here 4 3 ja 12 plus 6 18. All have been balanced. Now we will move to the last question in this sequence of balancing chemical equation and this would be the last video related to how to balance the chemical equation. Then in the next video we would be discussing some other topics of this chapter which would be very important again. Okay, so next one is the 12th one. The question is ferrous sulfate reacts with sodium hydroxide visible, not visible, so let me write it here. Reacts with sodium hydroxide to produce ferrous hydroxide, ferrous, ferrous hydroxide and sodium sulfate. Now if you could see, ferrous sulfate, that is FeSO4, state is aqueous state, plus sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH, again state aqueous state. What does it give? Means the question is that the ferrous sulfate solution, aqueous state, no? So solution right here. Ferrous sulfate solution, here you can write solution also. Solution reacts with sodium hydroxide solution, because aqueous state, sodium hydroxide solution, to produce ferrous hydroxide precipitate, to produce the precipitate of ferrous hydroxide and sodium sulfate solution. Okay, so this is solution, it will form a precipitate of ferrous hydroxide. Ferrous hydroxide is FeOH. How much? FeOH whole twice or whole thrice? Whole twice. FeOH whole twice. This is ferrous hydroxide, and its state will be solid state because it's a precipitate. So precipitate is always solid. Okay, it is not dissolved. It is not dissolving there in the solution. Plus, what does it form? That is sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate is Na2SO4. Visible? Na2SO4. Let me write it correctly. It is like this, Na2SO4, and its state is also aqueous state because it is solution there. Okay, so this is how we will write the chemical equation. Now let's balance this first. If you could see iron here, Fe, one atom. So first we'll balance, let's iron, then we'll balance sodium, then sulfur, then hydrogen, then oxygen. Iron 1 there also. Now sodium, one atom, two atoms, so multiply here by 2. Sulfur, one atom, one atom. Hydrogen, two atoms, here also two atoms. Oxygen, two atoms. Oxygen 2 atom plus 4, 2 plus 4, 6 atoms, and here 4 plus 2, 6 atoms, all have been balanced now. Okay, so this is how we will balance the chemical equation. So this was the last part related to how to balance the chemical equation. So I think 50 or 60 around chemical equations we have done here, which we have balanced. So I think you must be knowing, and I told you to write the chemical formulae of all the compounds which I am telling, like aluminum hydroxide, ferrous hydroxide, potassium chlorate, potassium nitrite, potassium nitrate, aluminum sulfate, so sodium hydroxide, and ferrous sulfate, sodium sulfate, so sulphuric acid, hydrochloric acid. So many formulae I have told you here. So you just keep writing these chemical formulae in separately in a separate notebook there. Okay, which you would be remembering in the classes ahead. Okay, so okay, then let's see in the next lecture.